Cool. All right. Howdy, folks. Looks like everything's working. I've got audio. All right. So I will be, as usual, trying to pay attention to the audio and paying attention to chat because I do have some new wireless microphones that are really helping with the sound issue I've been having, but the batteries are lasting like less than half what they are described as having. But anyway, it's Twitch Tuesday, man. Thanks for joining me. My name is Dave. I'm a woodturner. I started this channel to become a better teacher and a better demonstrator. I started this channel to help turners of all skill levels become better turners and at the same time become a better turner myself. I really enjoy wood turning, and I'm glad that you joined me. Today, we're doing something a little different, a little bit different. Let me get that out of there. I wanted to find my proper center, and I think I'm still a little, well, I am still a little bit off, but that's all right. Let's see what this angle looks like. Okay. Groovy. So as I said before, thanks for joining me. When you get a chance, please drop a hi in chat for me. Let me know you're here. This channel is live and interactive, at least until the broadcast, until the recording goes out, then it isn't. Let's turn this guy down. I think that looks pretty good. Fiddle just a little bit. There we go. That doesn't need to be so far back. So what I have here is a cylinder, another piece out of that piece of maple crotchwood that I had poured resin into. And I had some airsoft BBs, and I thought that looked pretty cool. And it does on some other pieces that I'll be able to show when the finish is actually cured. But this guy is the same diameter as it is height. I actually had a longer piece. I was cutting it in half, or I was going to cut it at some point, make something out of the other end because it has a little bit more resin. This widens and opens up over on this end a little bit more. So there's a little bit more resin in that other piece. Not sure. It looks like the resin got all the way down into it. So hopefully we're not going to find any voids until we turn this into maybe, I'm thinking a box. But because, well, when I looked at it, I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun if this was a cube? And then I would turn a cube. And then I got to thinking, well, I mean, all I really have to do is make sure that the height of it is the same as the diameter, and that's close enough for a cube to me. We'll just take a cylinder and we'll put it in a cube rotation, I guess. I'm going to make up a term, cube rotation. So if you would imagine this was a 5-inch cube as opposed to a 5-inch cylinder that's 5 inches tall, that's what we'd be starting with. Now, I'm not exactly sure. I didn't want, you know, that was another thing just popped into my head, was a 3-corner box, but I don't want to do a 3-corner box. Not with this piece. I want to, we'll see, have a little bit of fun with it, see what pops out. Let's see if I can get a good secure hold. I don't need to be super monster with this one, but the next one I will. Because what I want to do is, since I'm not sure, golly, excuse me. Since I'm not sure what surfaces may not be turned, I want to give this, my starting surface on the cylinder, a decent sanding. So I'm going to sand this to 220 before I flip it onto its corners, quote unquote, two opposite corners. I'll show you how I determined that. Well, actually, I should show you that now before I take away the pencil lines. How's that? So if you imagine this as a cube, straight sides here, straight sides here, anywhere in a halfway point on a cube through its center will come out on the other end at the exact opposite and same angle as it left, right? Except where if it's not 90 degrees and perpendicular or 45 from corner to corner, it will flop the two angles from one side to the other, but they will match. On a circle, any point from the outer edge of the circle through the center will come exactly opposite on the other side, 180 degrees. So that's how I figured out my center point here. I set my anyway, sorry, let me finish this part. So I drew that line, and then I took my square and drew it up to this side. And then I chamfered both sides so that I had a little bit better hold with the center points, and split that so that it would pretty much be just like going right into the 90-degree angle corner of a cube. So it's really, really close to 5 inches. Doing it that way, and I think it'll work out fine. And what I want to do, as I said here before, is sand this surface before I start turning this between the centers that I'm going to use. Make sure I had a little bit. I was off a little bit. I'm off there. Kind of poked into some resin on the center of this dude. So it's a little squirrely with the center point. And that's because I kind of boogered it up a little bit myself, trying to get the exact center. I didn't have the exact center on this side. When I had it between centers to make it round, I had this center already set. This was, well, I have the drive center in the other half. So when I cut this, there was no center, and I have to find it at least as closely as I can. That's pretty close. Just going to sand the surface, and then swap it around, but I like to have the things as closely as possible as I can get them. I don't need a super monster hold with this guy. Captain OB, hey, Dave, hey, how you doing, man? What's up, Mike? Glad you could join. Let me move this light. Glad you could join me, man. I'm taking this. I don't know if you caught that or not, but this is 5 inches high and 5 inches in diameter, and I'm going to turn it like it was a cube. After I sand the surface, I need my mask for the dust. Safety first. I don't want to become allergic to any of this stuff any sooner than I have to. So I want to be turning as long as I possibly can. Seems pretty smooth, but I know it's hard wood too, so it'll wear down this abrasive really fast. Well, that looks pretty good, I think. Looks like we got some curl there. This is a piece of crotchwood, so there will be figure and curl in it in different places. Just I'm not sure that there will be as much as the pieces that were closer to the crotch itself. This was lowered down on the billet that I made. You know, that'll work right there. That'll be fine. Ooh, probably shouldn't do that too much. The pressure will kick on, but I think this microphone will dampen that sound. It seems to be working really well with the lathe. Nice, nice, Cat No B says. Hey, thanks, man. I was looking at it and going, you know, let's do something a little different. It's going to be most likely a box, but like, I want to try something a little different, man. Why not? Okay, so that is the end there. So this would be, if it was a cube, opposite corners. So one corner straight through the piece at a 45-degree angle to the opposite corner on the other side is essentially what that turns out to be. And pardon me, this is going to be a little loud. Okay. Come on now, there we go. I was hoping the UPS came today. I ordered a motor for this lathe, and they sent me a email saying your package is going to arrive today. I'm like, yes, I'll have my new motor finally. Nope, it was something else. Okay, so that, I'll keep checking my tailstock. Not as secure as I would like, but we are on the corners there. That's still a lot better. That's why I chamfered those edges to get a little bit more bite in there. We know that side's going to clear. How about that side? It should. All right, so now the question is being, what do we do? Okay, so this will be at this point the foot, and that will be the top. It's going to have some cool shapes to it though, so that'll be nice. At least that's the thought I'm having. Let's see. Oh, is that all going to clear? Yeah. So let's start. Let's start shaping a little bit with a bowl gouge. Grab that dude. Once again, I have 3 sharpened steels here. This is this is really hard wood now. Which is nice. I did have to trim off the end here. I did have a lot of checks in the end. I think there is 1, 2 small, 3 very small ones, but because this wood is well seasoned, this is a dense piece of maple with the grain interlocked. I'm not going to worry about that. It wasn't meant to hold water or whatever anyway, so whatever liquid of your choice. Okay, let's see. really do not like LED lights. In my opinion, to make this stuff harder to see. Bring that light over. And then you pretty much have to flood the area with light to even see what the heck you're doing. Let's see, if I did that, and then the same here, it'd be an odd shaped lid, but it would be interesting, hey? I wonder if I could make that work. So that all clears, all right. Let's see, just gonna slowly work at it till I start seeing something I like. Trying to figure out what, trying to listen to what shape this is gonna be. Let's make that part round and see where that gets us. Oh no, my fish whacker fell on the floor. Okay. Now as a lid though, that would be unique. How would I deal with this side? Well, I'd have to run it between centers again. Well, just spend some time sanding too, I suppose. But that would be kind of neat, maybe. And just taking a look at the audio, that looks like it's still working all right. I'm just kind of stair-stepping the shape up here. It'll be easy to round if I choose to round it. That may be a boatload of beads, I don't know. It could be. Huh. That is an idea. Let's see. If I actually taper that in further, well, no, hold on a second here. If I make this part flat and then I taper it in, that'll give me an idea of where my finial will be. So let's do that first. Oh, gee. Thought there was an issue going on there. Bear with me for a sec. My tool rest is a little high. There we go. I had my skew out earlier. I was making a handle for a new tool that showed up today. Not my motor, unfortunately. Okay, is that going to be, yeah, it'd be wide enough. Let's see. No, let's get down to that figure. Get a platform big enough for it's going to be a smaller box, so it doesn't have to be a huge finial. I think I'm really close to where I want to be in width here. take my tenon down too far, but it is really hard wood, so I can make it a little smaller there. Let's see, it looks like I'll have to take another pass at that. I can't tell for sure, but it looks like a little piece broke out, and I'm not sure if that had to be from the bow guide. There we are. Now let's taper this. Let's see, do we taper or do we do an inside curve? Let's go with this. Could be my bottom bead for the lid, perhaps. I sanded that, well, that's not flat, that's round. He says. I could sand it flat though, but that might change if I do that, so looks like I'm gonna leave it. We'll just sand this flat. Okay, let's see. Do I like the taper? I think, boy, man, this is, I can take this down a little bit, so I'm going to try an inside curve real quick. Let's see. What that might look like. Seem to be dive bombing off my lathe here. So I'm going to move some tool steel, make sure that doesn't wander. And I need to get my fish whacker and another piece of tool steel that fell into the shavings back here, because I suspect I'm going to need that tool steel. Although this particular piece seems to be cutting a little easier. Maybe that's because it's further down, the trunk from the crotch that was up here, and so not as much figure. It's not so hard. So if that goes in like that, I don't like that. Not on this piece. And now I don't have to worry about that anymore. May not even need to worry about that. Well, if I take all this down, I can make the whole doggone thing round, so oh, but that might look cool. A wide handle swing to get that. Nope. Yep, not gonna happen here. My fish whacker just dropped again. What's my deal? Let's see. Nope, that's got to go in a little bit. And that's got to go in a little bit. I see. My tool's getting dull. Okay, that's almost round. I can take that down a little bit more. And we'll turn, I think I'll turn some beads on it. Everything but that little bit, so let's take care of that. Let me go with a pull cut on this guy. Gotta run. Cat Moby says, have fun with your stream. Hey, thanks, man, for stopping by. I appreciate it. And throwing in a few things there in the chat. I hope you enjoy your evening. I forgot to check that I was going to clear. That needs to clear right there. Oh, well, I'm going to use a pull cut on this guy. I think that might look pretty groovy. Well, hey, Mike, if you catch this later, man, you gotta let me know when you're streaming. I don't know if you got time for that or whatever, but that was part of one of your goals in the past. Okay. I think then I need to adjust this curve here like that. Clean up this shape just a little bit here. That's as good as I think that needs to get. I'm going to run some beads here. Let's see. How small are they? You know, I am changing my mind. Let's see. This was a... Oh, yeah, this is a spindle gouge. Well, let's go for it. Whoops. Duh. Gotta have clearance, Dave. Gotta have clearance. There we go. So let's see, I do a shear scraping here. Yeah. I'd like to be a little closer for this, but Got this wing thing happening out here that I have to remain aware of. Have to. Maybe have to isn't the right terminology, but it sure would be a good thing if I did. There we go. All right, so let's see. Let's throw some beads on this dude. Easy there, Dave. Gotta stay 90 degrees to the surface. Now you're turning on when you're running continuous beads. All right, that looks kind of cool, actually. So it's a little bit more difficult to go uphill, but still very doable with practice. It's much easier to do it on an outside curve like a bowl. To get practice and get your feet wet. You can do it on the outside of a bowl, the outside of a cylinder, and then you can tackle more complex shapes. Okay, I don't like that bead, so that's looking a little bit more like what I was after. So I guess we'll adjust this one too. Whoopsie daisy. Now I have to go after it. So I just skated across the surface a little bit. There we go. Should have cleaned it up. Let's double check. Yep. Hey now. And I think that looks all right. Let's do a little more rounding of that one. Okay. That'll work. Clean that up a bit. This is really dulling my tools quickly. I'm just doing shear scrape on the outside of these beads where whenever I see just a little minor tool mark, just to make it easier to work with the abrasive on these beads. And I'm going to say that that bead is a little tall. That looks better. Okay. I think I like that lid. Yeah. Whoops. Just a little bit to clean up here. Let's look at the whole thing again, because once this comes out of center and I got to put it in a chuck or yeah, to hollow out the inside, I'm not going to be at this place anymore. And if I'm lucky, I can get it back, like right back into center, but that's not always the case. I do get lucky, but sometimes it's a product of just fiddling with it, because well, as I said before, I want it to be as close to having an extra, as close to not sanding as I can get. And truthfully, let's take a look at this, but truthfully, I think I could probably get away with it on this piece. There's still that little bit. Not quite, almost. A tiny little tool mark that I had to get out of there. And one more. I'm doing really sheer cuts to get as sharp an angle as I can get with the tool to get it, you know, a really clean cut. And I'm turning and I'm practicing my tool skills, and I'm setting myself up to sand at a much higher grit. does that look? Oh, that looks pretty good now. I'm going to be that guy though. I'm going to catch these two beads. Not quite what I'm looking for. It will be a little difficult to sand right in these, well, it will be a little difficult to sand right in these two spots. Easier to catch it with a tool. It can reach in there. And then I just have some fine bit sanding to do. In through. Okay. Is that, okay, that's grain. Sometimes it's hard to see in these pieces if you're looking at a bit of grain that's not right, or doesn't look right, or it's actually a tool mark. Okay, cool. So there we are. Let's work on getting this lid out of here. That clears. And creating a place to hold it down here. And then what we do with these wings after that. Yep, time to change steel. Excuse me. There we go. So once again, thank you for joining me this evening. If you want to support the channel, you drop a hi in chat. That is a big deal. Hopefully I will earn you a follow from you. Okay. Let's see. I need to make a place I can hold on to back here before I start worrying about the middle part of this dude. That clears. Am I close enough though? Let's see. Ooh, golly, what if but then it would be like everything else. I'm looking at the ghosting image of this and going, what if I make that shape? But it wouldn't have the wings. He says, all right, that might be an interesting shape to make, maybe. Not quite round. That sounded like it was close to round. Yeah, almost. All right, so that's going to have to get cut off. Maybe. Take that down some more. And hey, I can get a little bit closer. Okay, that's round, that'll work. So let's set that up for a dovetail jaw. All right, so I guess I'll need to cut that off, but not yet. See, that's kind of an interesting shape already by itself, man. That just looks kind of cool. Because everything is at, yeah. All right, let's bring this edge up. So I'm trying to go where the thickness is, from this line to this line. Look about even to me. That's pretty close. Let's see, this is the diameter I need. So that might be an interesting shape to work into something. It might be. If I were to curve this, that would curve that. And vice versa on the back. So let's get a pencil here and play around. All right, so this guy right here, if I was to curve him up, this would also go up. And then likewise the same thing here and here. Except it would be, oh no, it wouldn't. Just be this one curved up, which that's a 45. That's a 45. So yeah, it would. It would curve that up slightly. And then on this side here, that would curve that and that up slightly. And that will give it quite an interesting shape. And I can leave the chamfered edge. Let's see what that looks like. I think I've got plenty enough here to be able to part off this lid and still be able to have a hold on it with the dovetail chuck, so I'm not concerned about that. Let's kind of sort of talking myself through a little bit because it helps with the visualization process. Okay, that'll do. Helps with yeah, bringing that picture out. Okay. Let's take a look and see what we get. See what that looks like first. We're not anywhere near touching that yet. Yeah. In fact, if I follow the ghosting, I can match that first. And then start working on that curve. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Yeah, this will be, yeah, this will be kind of cool. So my bow edge handle really has to swing wide. All right, so if I say that's my wall thickness right there for the lid, that's going to be almost 5/8 of an inch. I really don't need that much wall thickness. So I can bring this curve in a little bit more. Hey, I wonder, now that I have the shape, if my negative rake scraper might not be really flippin' handy right here. Let's find out. To cleaning up that whole surface, let's see. So I want less than 90 degrees. That's center, so pick it up just a bit. Oh, I might have to do this with other shapes too, I guess. I've only tried the cube. This is kind of cool. Raging Striker Gaming. Hey, Dad, what are you making this evening? Also, you sound slightly muffled. Huh. I hope not. Oh, you know, let me do this. I wonder if that maybe will help. The music isn't playing for reasons that I am unaware of. Oh, don't turn on yet. But I am working on what's called a three-corner box. Well, the first time I heard of it, it was called a three-corner box, and you take a cube of material, you know, 5-inch per side, 6, whatever size you want to use, and you flip it up onto opposite corners of the cube, and then you turn a shape out of that. This was a cylinder that was the height and the diameter were the same, but it is a cylinder. And I thought, hey, it's got similar dimensions to a cube, it's just not a cube. So I'm turning it as I would a cube. See what comes out. So how you doing there, buddy? How your day's going, man? How's the weather in the Southwest these days? I can look on the weather app, but it hit over 80 today here, and it looks like, TC Smo says Cal can't get you in Grand Rapids. That's a bummer, man. Ooh, let's clean this guy off. So I got this quote-unquote breathable computer cover. Turns out it's a piece of microfiber cloth that barely covers the keyboard, but it is keeping the fan port covered. And I just had sawdust all over it that didn't get into the keys, so that was a nice thing to find. It's not getting into the keys. If I run that, and I'm going to turn that as a bead, I bet you that's what's going to happen. I bet you. Okay, so I think that is a good wall thickness there. I like the curve, so we're going to stay with that. Let's grab just in case we're not coming back to this line. Let's just clean up the end grain that tore out a little bit on the end there. Not much, which is nice. I see I have just a little bit there. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to put another burr on this guy, and then I'm going to do a shear scrape. And I hope the audio has improved with a couple of changes I just made. Figure it'd be helpful with the music's not playing either, so like whatever, man. Okay, so I've got my negative rate scraper. I'm not really concerned too much about it being below less than 90 degrees because I'm going to have it up on edge, and that edge is basically about 45. Yeah, it helped a little bit, so the sand, that'll sand out nice. Got just a little bit, where's it at? Just a little bit of grain tear out right there. But it's not bad. Let's try this way. See how much that helps. Not real, a little bit, not much, but that'll sand out. Okay, so that'll be a wing hanging off this end. There'll be a wing hanging off that end. I need to finish this other wing because I think I'm going to throw a bead right there. So if I have this here, this should all clear, right? Not quite the same angle. Okay. So I am going to put another burr on this tool and then set it aside and go after this with the bowl gouge. Since I'm going to need this scraper again, I might as well get it ready. I wonder why she can't get me in Grand Rapids, man. What's up with that? That sucks. All right. I am, let's see. I am doing what? Let's see. I make that same curve, but I want to be, do I want to be at that diameter though? Well, let's find out. Light over here, so sorry, let's wash this thing out a little bit. So as I'm working my way into the center, I'm trying to match that same curve. Oh, the diameter needs to go down a little. Whoopsie daisy, came out of the cut. It's too steep, or not steep enough. There we go. A lot closer still, not quite at the same diameter, is close. Now I need to work my way in here to get that cleaned up and that cleaned up. Okay, and that, oh, I'll have to go just a little bit more. Yeah, just a little bit more. I do want to see something though. I'm going to draw a line here and see if this is not, this should still be my center. Yes, it is. Okay. All right, doing good there. So I need to take, well, let's look at this. I need to take that down a little bit. So let's go ahead and move in a little bit, get that little extra support. Don't need to take much. Actually, I could do this with the negative wave scraper, but whoops, not the right angle. A little bit, let's see, a little bit further down. Yeah, and then make a round bottom out of it. Yeah, I think that'll look really, really interesting. All right. So now I've got my angles pretty well matched. I'm going to clean this up. Let's see, do I have anything? A little bit of sanding on that where that end grain, just the very corner of it tore out. I'll hit that guy too. And now we will go after this with the negative rake scraper. Just taking some really light tattoos, trying to leave a nicely finished surface. I think I've got, yeah, a little bit of tool marks there that I'm going to get rid of. And I'll refine this curve a little bit more on this other side. So that they match more closely. Won't have to take much off. Oh, but I will put a fresh burr on this tool. Just like that. So just a couple of really light cuts. There, that's better. And now, I really do think I'm gonna, I don't know, I think I might turn a bead right there. All right, let's sand that off. See about the other side here. Yeah, there's some right there. All right, I am done with the scraper for now. Keep things, as many things off the lathe as I can, so I have fewer things to pick up, like my fish whacker, when they inevitably fall off the lathe. Yeah, I like that curve. All right, so that's cool. Let's set this up to turn that bead. Or do we leave it the way it is? Oh man, this is hard. No, I'm gonna turn it. It's not that hard, Dave. It's a hard decision though. Because it's gonna be permanent, at least until I cut it off again. Okay, so I need to first straighten this edge up. Like that. And let's see what this looks like, shall we? We'll turn that side. And that side. How did that turn out? Got a little bit of tear out right there. But I think if I clean it up this way, that is a very thin bead, man. Let's see, I need to take this down a little bit more. Right there. Well, a little bit more. That's it, right there. So now, this edge here, well, you see these two edges match, and these two edges match. Didn't quite get as far as I wanted, though, to get rid of this tear out, so we're going to adjust that bead a little. Did that get it? Yes. Okay, so now just a wee bit close there. Let's see, I need to take this down to like right there maybe. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at this bead. I need to go a little bit deeper with that cut. Oh, no, I don't. That's right. These wings are off. Okay, since these wings are off center, I'm going to make this bead a tad bit bigger. You know, instead, what I think I'm going to do is bring this edge here all the way down to that bead. And same thing on the other underside. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So back for the negative rake scraper, which I think I need to put a new burr on. Yep. And we'll just leave that guy running for a minute. So Kyle can't, oh, nope, that was the last chat. So Raging Striker, I hope the audio is better now. Raging Striker said the audio was a little bit muffled. Hopefully, or rather, I'm curious how the weather in Oklahoma is. Right to the outside of that bead. Yes, that will work for me. And that side doesn't look like we had any tear out. A little bit right there. All right. So now we match the other side. Ooh, do I like that curve? I don't like that curve. Oh, I think it needs to be adjusted a bit. There we go. And now we'll bring this one to the bead. Yes, okay, I'm happy with that. So we'll keep that shape. I could put beads here. That would be kind of funny actually, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Now I want to work on this guy down here. So I'm going to put a fresh burr on my scraper and set it aside. Don't know that I'll be needing it again for this particular project. Okay, so now, and then I could like carve. Dude, I could carve in there. Unless, of course, I could get it back between centers, which is not going to happen. Then I could turn that out, but yeah. Gotta swing that handle wide. You can really smell that resin as it's coming off the blank here. Whoop, I came out of the cut right there, see? Alright, so I'm leaving this little bitty collar here. This is where I'm going to grab it with the chuck. So I need to leave something there. Okay, I'm going to need to bring this. That is a neat shape. I'm liking this shape. This is very cool. I've got nothing there, so I'm going to take this down a little bit more. Swing your handle wide. There we go. Now, did that get rid of that? Yep, pretty much. Groovy. So I think that is my general shape for now. I'm not sure how I'm going to carve this guy. If I'm going to carve this guy. I suspect there's going to be some carving in its future. Yeah, I can carve right into that. It would be cool though if I could get this back into center from the cylinder, the original cylinder, instead of that 45 now, because then I could actually carve just this out. That might be really, really cool. Okay, I think I'm going to, let's grab the spindle gouge and move that handle. And that will complete that curve. I can sand that out now. This is my, so I'm going to say this is my bottom. That will be my foot. I need the light over on this side now. And this is where I'm holding with the chuck. That'll be my foot. And I will need to cut off here. Oh, this will give me a chance to try out my new tool. See how this works. So I went looking online for parting tools, and I found one that I thought. It's hard to tell by these pictures, man, because the pictures are so misleading. But this was a bigger piece. This handle is only about what, 2 inches long, I think it was, 2 and 2.5 on this parting tool. It's a 16th inch parting tool, and there was no way I was going to be able to hold on to that, so I had to make a handle for it. Had this nice piece of honey locust that I finished in my beeswax. So let's see how this thing works, man. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. I made the handle today. Yeah, see how that curve just wants to naturally flow into that. So just sanding this stuff, I think maybe will take care of that. Get rid of that sharp edge there and there, and then maybe that'll just naturally flow right through, and I won't have to. Yeah, I won't have to carve anymore. That'll work. All right, so I'm going to try this this new parting tool right down here. Like I said, I had to make a handle for it. Oh, it's an aggressive little thing. Okay, if I could get closer. I can't, but if I could get closer. Whoops, let's flop that handle back over to here. I don't want to have it too far out of the handle because the whole tool adjusts out, so you can, and I made the handle I put a little bit of dowel shim in there. I just kind of split my dowel and then sanded it a little bit so it was just a little bit tapered, so I could tack that down in there so I'd have the round end against the inside of the hole and the flat end against the flat end of this tool. A little bit of 30-minute epoxy took care of all that together. But I just wanted to see how it actually performed before I actually really put it into service, and I was thinking that I didn't realize it'd be this aggressive. But it is a 16th of an inch wide, and then it's tapered towards the bottom, so the bottom is thinner to allow for that removal of stuff. You know, that'll be enough for me to saw off. This works all right, but man, that's an aggressive dude, which is all right. I mean, you know, I want to cut through. That's what the party. So more practice with that guy before I get used to it would most likely be a really good thing. Wiley, Smiley, Kylie, got you in fits and starts, in and out. Well, I'm glad that you were able to get the broadcast in Grand Rapids. Joe said you were not having a lot of luck there. So yeah, if I just sand that out, and I can do that really easy with the Grex sander. So that's ready to cut there. I can get a lot closer here because my headstock's not in the way. So I think I'll grab that parting tool again and test it on this side. And you know, I set something somewhere and now I can't find it. Whoops. Too far, Dave. There we go. All right, so my new parting tool. Like I said, I needed to make a handle for it just because, I mean, the handle for this guy, it's hard to see in pictures. You know, you just don't have the perspective, the proper perspective, especially when they magnify the pieces. It looks much larger than it actually is. I really thought this was going to be, this metal part was going to be a handheld piece that I could hold on to. It was a good size, but it's not. It is half an inch in width and I think about 5/16 in thickness, and so I realized I needed to make a handle for it. So here we go. Back off a little bit so I can get the metal part of the tool handle on the tool rest. Whoa, yeah, this thing is super aggressive. I just need to take my time. The nice thing is, though, is that I've got a much thinner kerf I can saw through now, so I'm not taking away as much wood. So that's why I got the thing, to check it out. Again, I thought it would be bigger. It's not. But it holds the tool steel in there very securely. It helps that it only fits in one way. The cutting steel actually fits in one way. This is supposedly high-speed steel, but I could imagine with that thinness and not a lot of mass that I'm going to have to be careful with this thing. I don't know if that'll ever snap off. But anyway, it comes with what, five spare blades, and a little tool, a little wrench. Do I still have audio? Yep. All right. Got to remember to check the audio because this microphone is eventually going to stop working. If it is the one that stops after 2 hours. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blades that come with the kit, and they are apparently I don't think they're reversible. They're not reversible because it's thicker at the top than it is in the bottom, and that's how they fit into the tool. So they're not reversible, but they can be resurfaced on the grinder. And it comes with this handy little wrench. I can put this guy down, and it's just a square nut there that this wrench fits on. So I do see for sure potential for smaller projects for this guy to work really well, but on larger ones, I'm kind of hesitant. I was hoping, like I said, that it was a larger tool than what arrived. But again, and that's why I really don't care to shop online, man, because you just don't have a perspective. I want to be able to have it in my hand and see, how big is the tool? What extra things do I got to do, like make a handle? Let's put this guy aside. So got a little sanding to do there. I can cut this off now. How am I going to hold that, though? Oh, I can hold it right there. That'll be all right. In fact, I can make that an even better hold than it is right now. A little judicious application of a spindle gouge. The dovetail jaws will get right in there. That's lovely. And then I can flip around, haul this dude out, create a hold on the inside to be able to finish the outside. Yes, 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 yes. try to think a couple of steps ahead anyway. You know what? I could not. Nope. Don't overthink it. Stop it. I was just thinking, I could take my 1/8 inch parting tool and get it right in there, but like it would create a pinch point, and I'd have to widen the hole then bigger than it already is. And the whole idea behind having a thinner parting tool is to have a thinner kerf you got to work with. I think perhaps I'm using the wrong saw for this guy. Let's grab a Japanese utility saw. Okay. And yeah, I can part this guy off too, or rather cut it off. Let off the compression just a tad from the tailstock. Let's see, I don't know that I got all the way through on there, so this can go a little deeper than that other pull saw. I don't think I've got much to cut out of here left, much left to cut out of here. Easy there, cowboy. There we go. Not quite through yet. I can hear the sound of the wood getting thinner. There it is. Oops, don't you fall on the floor. Put you back in the travel bag. Nice little utility saw for right around about 45 bucks, and it's got, I imagine probably, I don't know, I'm guessing that most Japanese saws have replacement blades. This one has got the ability to replace the blade on it. Almost. All right, paper towel. Almost all the way through, not quite enough to break this little bit of fiber. There we go, that's hanging on. That's some tough stuff now. that it, or is it here? Whoops. I don't guess I was all the way through that one either. Getting thinner. There it goes. Okay. So that's finished. Now I can grab this. I'm gonna do a lid first. Save that nice piece of crotch wood for my resin project in the future. Just in case I actually still do it. Oh yeah, that'll look really nice too, hollowed out. The edge, yeah, that's cool. All right. All right. I'm going to work on the lid first. Let's get this guy out of here and bring up my Vic Mark chuck. Hey Vic Mark, I really like your chucks. I don't get. I think it'd be cool if you support this channel. Thank you. I think I can. Ooh, nope. Well, maybe if I cut that off, it should fit right in there though. It should just fit right in there. Not quite. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I'll grab it here then. I believe I can get the jaws right around this guy. Oh, but I do have to cut this off. Okay. Whoops. I need to find that nub. It needs to go in my, there it is, my epoxy bucket. Get back here, you. Okay. Clean off my confuser here. Get that microfiber towel cleaned off. It is helping keep the wood shavings off of the keyboard and computer though, but I really was expecting one that covered the entire top surface of the laptop. Let's see. That's going to leave a mark that I'm not going to be happy about. I can change the jaws though. So that means I will need to change the jaws and then change them back. Fortunately, with this particular chuck, that doesn't take very long. Okay, I'm looking for the other jaws, and there they are. The Allen wrench. Okay, let's move this guy aside for a sec. Set you right on top there. You are number 1. Get that out of there. The only way this would be faster is if I had another chuck with the different jaws on it already. Which I'm not opposed to if anybody would like to donate one to this channel. It would definitely help out. Alright, number 2. Press. Oops. And I believe in French, quatre. Quatre, number 4. Ooh, I don't know. Damn, actually this may not work either. He says. I may have to make a jam check. Let's see. Lid. Yep, it won't go down in there. Let's see. I do believe there's a, well, I might be able to grab it with my pin jaws there, just enough to hollow this guy out and create a place to hold on to this with the smaller jaws in this chuck, which I now have to put back on. Well, I thought it would work. Clearly, it will not. I think part of the issue is that these jaws, this tab comes in further, so that hole closes up quicker with these jaws closing than with the smaller jaws, but the smaller jaws are just a hair, maybe 2 hairs width from being large or large enough to open and grab that lid. Just won't quite go. It's almost there though. Okay, so since that dude fell out, we'll start with number 3. Whoops. Oh, there it is. Yay. Could have grabbed my magnet, but I saw it right away, so... Alright, let's get number 4 out of here so I can stack these in the right order. 4 and 3. And 2. Japanese, that would be ni. Number 2. At least from what I remember of my Japanese. Ichi ni san shi. Yeah. Okay, back to what we had to start with. Let's put these jaws away, since clearly we are not using them now. Had to check though. Had to check. If it didn't close up that hole here in the center of that chuck so quickly compared to these guys, then it would have worked, I say. All right, let's move this guy aside. We will grab the pin jaws. Fortunately, my tailstock is right here, so I'll have that for support. And the magic key. Whoops, not that key. That key should not be falling on the ground. Okay. I think I will grab that one. Right, let's take a look here. Let's see. If I set this, what number is this? Number 4. This should be 1 then? Nope. That's right, it's 3 and 4, 1 and 2. So back to 1 and 2. And we'll put that feature right at what might be the front of the lid, perhaps. All right. I don't think that I need a death grip on this guy a lot, because I'm bringing the tailstock up. Let's see, will that be the right height for this guy? It is. If we take it down a little bit, okay. Let's see how this looks. Running through. I am going to put a dimple here so that this guy will center up where I want it to. Like that. And now I can bring that point up and I can start working on this lid. Let's see, I think that's enough right there. Okie dokie. So I know that this guy out here, well, this is really hard wood, so I don't want to make a hold further out here on this bead. And speaking of beads, it's about time this disappeared. That all cleaned up, or mostly cleaned up. Just want to set myself up for a shorter sanding experience. There we go. Okay, now I work on this dude. Let's see. Well, maybe I need to cut it this way. Or maybe I need to put a fresh edge on this tool. And I'm pretty sure that's what my issue is. So, time to refresh the edge on this spindle gouge. Yep, it's dull in the places that I need it sharp. Oh, I suppose I could use, yeah, I'll grab that one too. I've got a detail gouge that is also a 3/8 spindle gouge, but the flute on it, and I'll show it to you here in a second. The tool itself is a shallower profile, and it's meant for more working closer to the surface, I suppose, of a material, because the flute itself is lower and the tool steel shank, at least at the flute area, is thinner. So this is my regular spindle gouge, and the flute itself only takes up maybe a third of the shank of the steel. On this one, almost half of that is gone, taken away, so the flute is probably the same depth as, or close to the same depth as the steel. The tool steel is thick as well, so it's not really meant for hogging things off. But that's something that I had to learn, because I didn't know the difference between a detail gouge and a regular spindle gouge, and it's all in the flute. And I guess too, what the application is. Oh, you're not backing out of there. All right, so I'm going to say, yeah, my tool was dull. The cuts are getting better and easier to make. Okay, how far do I really want to go in there with this? Let's see. I do want to put hold-in spot right there. So let me take this down some more. And then grab the box scraper. Whoop, wrong drawer, Dave. There we go. Ooh, my tool rest is a little low for this guy. So let's momentarily move the tool rest. Box scraper is still a scraper. It needs to, the cutting edge needs to meet the material at less than 90 degrees. So now my tool handle will be up and the cutting edge will be meeting, pardon me while I blow my nose here, the cutting edge will be meeting the face of the material at less than 90 degrees. Excuse me. All right, there we go. I need to put it right there. think that should be enough, but just a little bit more with that guy. Let me grab my skew. I do want to put a little bit of an undercut in here. Just in my mind, it gives me a little bit extra purchase on the dovetail jaws up into the material. I'm going to go with that. Oh, no, wait. Put the box scraper away. Okay, now I need to deal with this dude. Let's see, let's see how far I can go. Actually, I've got, oh no, I don't have a 40-degree gouge anymore. Let's see what else I can do here. Maybe the detail gouge will probably get me in there tighter now that I think about it. Since it is a narrower tool. And then I'll bring my regular spindle gouge to hog off the material. It's got more mass to the tool, so I'm not really worried as much about vibration with this spindle gouge as much as I'm not getting some, but I think I will get more with that spindle gouge since the mass of the tool is less than the mass of this tool. Oh, I might be able to leave myself in a really good spot too with this to get my small round negative ridge scraper into. Hey, don't back off. There we go. My small round negative ridge scraper right in there just to really clean that up quickly. At least that's my hope. All right, should be able to separate that cone now. Oh, you know, oh, you can kind of see it from up above this little cone here, but let's share that view. So this little cone here, I should be able just to pop this out. And then I can get, well, actually I don't need to use my negative ridge scraper, but it would clean up the inside really nicely. Kind of looks like a hat. It's kind of amusing. Okay, negative ridge scraper. Let's go with that guy first, since I really don't need to contact much of the surface with the burr. And now that I think about it, I'm going to want to give myself not only a little bit of room here, but a little bit of support on this lid. I'm really not giving it much pressure. I'm just riding right along the tops of the high points. I'm trying just to skate across those and slowly work those down. Just like that. Yes, very good. This is now, I can flip this around. Yay, that worked out. Okay. Now I can go back to my dovetail jaws, and you know, I really don't need to do much with that. Just a little sanding. This wood is so hard it really didn't leave any serious marks in it. Yeah, very, very cool. back to the big guy. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. All right, so not the big guy, but this other set of jaws will work just fine. Not dovetail, but that doesn't matter. I'll still be able to grip it. Shelf is deep enough to grip it right up in there, and I guess we'll probably do that again. Still have audio, very good. What time is it anyway? 10 o'clock. Okay. So I'll really keep an eye on the audio because it's about this time or close to this time that it cut out with one of these microphones. Okay, is this 1 and 2? 2, yes, 1 and 2. So we'll center that guy. We'll say this dude right here onto the space between 1 and 2 jaws. That's a feature I'm not going to forget. If there was a feature I was going to forget, I could use a pencil mark on the side. That's usually easily sanded off if it's not a heavy mark. All right, I want to clean this up, so I've got to drop my tool rest down again. Since we are not using a scraper at this point, I know there's lots of views on tools, this, that, and the other. People have their own opinions, and I'm of the opinion that, and honestly, I've really only started using scrapers a lot more recently just because I really want to know the most efficient and most proper way to use them when I teach using them. but most of the time I started off I'm just doing things with gouges. And a parting tool. So a lot of this stuff I could do without the Navy rake scrapers, but the practice is really important, because if I'm trying to pass on this information, should be as accurate as I can make it, eh? I think I will round that off just a little bit more. So I'm using the detail gouge right now. Really lets me get in a lot tighter than the standard spindle gouge. So sometimes I do use this one just to clean up beads, but it works really well for this particular task, and it had a sharper edge. Okay, looks pretty good. I need to drill a hole there for a handle, and I've got all kinds of space, man. I've got all of this, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm not going to hollow the whole thing out. Yeah, I'm not going to hollow the whole thing out. I think that would be pushing it a little bit, perhaps with the pin jaw hold. So we'll deal with what we got. And the inside does come to the center of this ring anyway. So anyway, it just definitely gives me more material to work into a tenon. And I just remembered that here where the jaws were holding, there is one mark, so I'm going to get there. I'm going to get rid of that with the detail gouge. So my gouge stop has to be at 90 degrees to the piece. It's on a curve, but it had to be at 90 degrees to avoid possibility of a catch. Now would be a really good time to clean up anything else I might want to clean up. You know, it all looks pretty good. Yeah, so we'll leave it there. All right, I'm going to grab my 1/4 inch skew because I need to put a dimple in for the drill bit to find its mark properly. And then we'll drill a 1/4 inch hole for a tenon. And I have no idea what the finial is going to look like yet, but I'm waiting to see what the rest of this piece looks like first. Okay, Jacob's chuck and key. Almost to the point where I can hollow that dude out and make it a box. Drill bits. Here they are. 1/4 inch. There you are. Yep, does have flats on it. Very good. So knowing the depth is not as critical, but I'm pretty sure that going in a 1/2 inch, I don't need that. But if I wind up going in a 1/2 inch, everything will be just fine. All right, so I am at 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, it is kind of wandering a bit. Just a bit. So my finial will not be perfectly centered. But it would be close. And I don't need to make the finial as wide as that base anyway. Okay. Okay, so that is now finished. Sorry, it goes down to, yeah, just the bottom of this 3rd ring. So it's pretty well hollowed out. Oopsie daisy, I forgot that had some weight to it. How's the audio? Audio still doing good. All right. this is interesting. I think I think one of the microphones out of the set, and I think it's this one, actually works longer than 2 hours. Here we are at, well, for me, with this microphone, it's 2.5 hours that I've had this thing running. So maybe I just have one microphone that's got a weaker battery, in which case I will contact the seller of the item and ask how we can resolve this issue. Okay, let's see. This is 1N4, so I don't know why I'm looking on the jaws when it's imprinted on the sides. I keep forgetting that. I will put that in the center, this feature in the center between 1 and 4 jaw opening there. I wish the music was playing. It's not working. I can try one more time. What I want to do is run the sander and clean this up before I hollow it out. And that, well, I don't know. I mean, we can see with noise canceling of this microphone how well it works with the compressor. But let me take a look at the tunes and see if I can actually get them to play. Doesn't look like it. So the Slipstream app is not working and hasn't been working well for me for the last 2 weeks broadcast. So I don't know if it's an app issue, like an update thing. I'll have to check Apple Store, maybe. Well, no, I can go to Slipstream and find out, but I would think it would automatically upgrade. All right, let's see. I want to have the sander running. I can start at 220, and I just want to round these edges out so it's all rounded and flows together. And it's a good thing I'm going to do that because it looks like I left some marks when I was cutting off the tenon there in between the ways. Okay, so yeah, I want to round this out. I want to do one of two things. I either want to round these edges out, or I want to carve this out even deeper so that it's a deeper channel. The issue with that is, how do if I take this out of the chuck, I need to get it in the position. Let's take a look at this. I need to get it in yeah, that was easier to see. So I need to get it in this orientation. Nope, sorry. Let me think about this again. Let's look at this other grain. Oh, you know, that actually helps better. All right, so I need the grain to be parallel with the ways, so this piece has to be rotated this way in between. I could do it between centers, correct? I don't want to carve it up to put another foot on it for the jaw. The issue is, though, well, I could probably get away with it by hollowing this out a bit. Anyway, it's doable. I think it would take some time to figure out how to get everything in the right position to do it that way. Or I could sand this and see. I think I will go ahead and sand this. Where was that feature I was putting in the center? There it is. So I'll run the Grex sander, and we'll smooth out all these lines. I think once that all flows together a little more nicely, I think if that was carved, it would look really cool with those sharp lines. But I mean, I guess I could monkey with it and then turn it tomorrow. It's not like it just has to be done tonight. That's just one of my goals, is to have a piece finished. And if I don't make it, that's okay. We are experimenting here with a, excuse me, a cylinder. I don't know what the heck, if there's a lot of pollen flying around today or something, but the mucous membranes in the above the neck are just going crazy. So yeah, I think the sharp lines would look cool if I could make a cove in here, a deeper cove all the way around. Which technically, I guess, with sanding I could do, but I think it would be nicer to sand round these edges over, make them less sharp. I'll leave this and that. So I'll blend it into that on both sides and give it a little bit more of a flowing flowing shape, excuse me. Or God, man, but I'm torn. I'm torn. This is an issue. Because I'm looking at this, and if I could get this coved out, if I could carve it, I mean, I don't want to carve it. This is really hard wood, so I don't want to sit here with a Dremel and carve this thing. I suppose I could attack it with files, but if I could turn it and make that cove, then I would leave that alone, because it is an interesting shape. But the whole piece is an interesting shape, I guess. Well, you know what? We're just going to sand. I'm going to quit mooning over it, I guess would be the word. And we'll just get to work. I'm going to go ahead and mute. Well, you know what? No, I'm not. I want to see if the noise cancellation works with the compressor. I did notice myself, after watching the recorded broadcast, that these microphones do some decent noise cancellation with the lathe running. What I hear with the lathe is not at all what you hear. You can hear the tool going through the timber or the material, which I think is awesome. I think that's an important sound to be able to recognize, because that helps with your tool control when you are shooting for sounds like that. That's smooth, shushing through the timber. Those kind of cuts, that's what I'm shooting for all the time. Okay, so I've oiled this guy. I need to find some more 220. I think it is in this box right here. I think I have a bunch of it, in fact. Yes, I do. Vince hooked me up, man. I ordered a bunch of sandpaper and it came out. And now this was 2 weeks ago came out, but now I'm breaking into it. Vince is a nice guy. You should support Vince, is my opinion. Vince is a nice guy. And he's got some really good products. The sanding products, at least, well, okay. I mean, I have my favorite. My favorite is the Blue Flex. I've tried the other ones. I'm not so hooked into the other ones as other people are, and that's fine. I really like these though. You did start off with what is called the Green Flex discs. I need a mask. Yes, I do need a mask. The Green Flex discs, and they are, well, here's a Green Flex one. This is named because they're green. But they are the Velcro backed discs. They work really, really well with the the Greg Sander, because they come in 2 sizes. I'm not trying to push this guy. Go to his website. You can see all that stuff on his website. I just always appreciate the great customer service I get from Vince at Vince's Wood Wonders. So there you go. Audio is still okay. All right, so here goes the test. Hopefully, and I'm going to rely on you guys. If you guys would do me the kindness of once the compressor starts, the sound itself should dampen down. I'm hoping that the whine of the air tool is also dampened down. We'll find out. I'm not going to do this with the lathe powered, so I do, however, need a little bit more light over here. So hopefully my voice is coming across very well and clear. Okay, I think I'm going to do this with 150. I keep forgetting how hard this wood is. So we'll start at 150. That's 220. You are 150. Thank you. And hopefully, like I say, the compressor right now is running. Hopefully, it's being muted somewhat, and then you can still hear me speak clearly. Okay. So I'm just running these edges over, and then I'll hit it again with 220. Kind of feeling my way along here. That feels alright. How does that look? I can hit it right here. Yeah, that blends pretty nicely. I wonder if that'll work. Round one without power. Power being the air in this case. See how that worked out? I may just think, yep. Yeah, I'm just going to have to go. Although I could use the rounded one, but I'll just do these by hand as opposed to with them rotating. Shouldn't take very long. If anybody could throw in chat, you know, what the audio sounds like right now, if my voice is coming in clear and the compressor itself is not taking center stage as far as your ears are concerned. If that is the case, I will go ahead and mute because nobody wants to listen to this for, I wouldn't think anyway, for too long. I really should be wearing hearing protection. And I normally do when I have the compressor running continuously like this. But not today. Just want to get what minor two monster in there before I hollow it out, finish the outside before I start the inside. And I think I need to let the compressor catch up. Although, like I said, this Rex sander actually runs at a lower PSI than almost every single one of my other air tools. So that's really nice. There. That'll do for that boat. Hard to tell, I've got some figure running through here, so it optically messes with my eyes. Okay, so I got just a touch right here. I'm sure other turners have experienced the same thing. I know I've caught myself sanding what I thought was tool marks and turned out to be curls, some kind of feature in the wood. And I finally would give up and start trying to feel like what is different about it, and realize that it's actually in the wood itself. It usually happens for me with curly wood. Nothing in shot yet. Okay, well, I'm going to assume that it's not bothering you at all. I really would like to know, but I'll listen to this later. I would really like to know while we're here together how this comes across. If my voice is coming through clearly. That would be a super cool bonus for with these microphones. Gotta test the noise cancellation possibilities with these times. Yeah, okay. Running that in is working. It's working, man. It's looking nice. Yeah. Working very nicely. Hopefully it doesn't, oh it does, it blares out that picture right away, doesn't it? Okay. So I'm sanding with the grain. The grain underneath is supporting what's on top, so I'm sanding down this way with the bottom part of my sander because it's rotating in that direction. I was thinking too, I don't have one that turns the other way, but if it was a pump going the other way, it'd be a vacuum. Although a vacuum might be handy. So I'm just running my thumb across the surface, lightly seeing where I feel high spots, and then just giving it a quick hit with the sander. Feel it again, see what that does for me, and looks like a lot of that is going to be fine. Same thing here, this grain is supporting the grain on top, so now with the wheel still going in the same direction, I'm using the top of the sanding wheel. Oops, don't turn that on, Dave. Alright. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool, man. I like that. Alright, time to hook a new piece for 150. Time for me to get a new package open here. Let's see, what is this? Nothing new on chat, so I'll just keep trucking right along. Looks like still have audio. That's pretty good. So about 15 minutes left to go. You know what? I think I will go ahead and I'll keep going for a few more minutes. Let's think about ending the broadcast. Alright, so this guy I will need to stand downhill this way. And I can catch that lower part when I do the bottom with that flipped around. Okay. So don't leave it standing instead of carving. I probably could do a carving video, I guess. But also, I guess you get a little bit loud. Yeah, that's blending in really nicely. That's cool. Let's see, I'll have to sand that from the other side. Can I get this one? Not quite, but I can get this guy. Okay. So now everything that I just hit, I can hit with 220. Yeah, I can't get to that from underneath. So I'm gonna have to flip it around now without sanding the hell out of the chuck anyway. Alright, so 220. And that's where we will leave it. I will pick this up again tomorrow evening. Very cool, man. I'm liking the design. I like how it's turning out. Lemony Snicket. Here's an unfortunate accident. Everybody in that movie, or the movies made from the books, is an unfortunate accident. were just perfect for our old Will Connolly and stretching the layers as always, and I think he's a great actor. Jim Carrey, of course, I can't remember the last child actors' names, but both of them just did a fantastic job. It was a really, really enjoyable movie series of unfortunate accidents. I wish that there was, maybe I missed it, but some kind of sequel to that would have been really good. I know there were more than one book in the series, and they covered, briefly covered some of the stories in the main movie, some of the stories from those books, but briefly. Still enjoyable movie. Like that. Let's see, I did not scan this yet. We'll see, Swimming. Okay, now I have. So, do you want to take the time? I'm assuming you can hear me. Nobody's said anything in chat. The audio was suffering due to the noise of the compressor and the air cool. If you have any questions, any comments, please throw them in chat now. I'm going to be done with this 220 sanding here in just a bit. I'll be turning off the air compressor for the evening. And we'll address what you guys have in chat. Do you have anything in there for me? I have no idea if anybody else has tried, other shapes than a cube. In that configuration to turn, but there we go. Oh, let me get that. There we go. And I'll have to get the rest except for this guy. After I've hollowed it so that I can turn it around and finish the bottom. The top surface is pretty much there. I may decide to do 320. I am going to polish this. I ran into, you know what, hold on. Let me walk over here and shut this bad boy off. Just like that. And let me take off this mask. There we go. Do I still have audio? I do. Well, I'll be. It looks like only one of the microphones has a battery that only lasts about 2 hours. This one has lasted the whole broadcast, and they were advertised as having 5-hour batteries. So this one looks like it's living up to that, but not the other. All right, so I will be, detach that dude. I probably shouldn't do this now, but there we go. Blow out the cameras. Making a little bit of dust with the sanding there. Yeah, so we just got to make a spot for the lid, which means I actually can tuck that in a little bit more, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I get this part of the rim done. That's really blasting the picture out. Does that help? Yes, very good. So this spot right here, in fact, let's just do this since we're not running the lathe anymore. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this area here that's going to be the rim for the lid. The lid will fit right in there, but the wall thickness, looking at it with the lid at 90 degrees this way, the wall thickness is the thickness I was looking for once this lid is set into place. And this is adjusted a little bit. So this is going to work out really, really nicely. I'll be able to hollow everything out but the these wings. I do, yeah, that's really nice. That's going to be, I'll do some finishing by hand, I'm sure. Taking this off the lathe just to make sure that all these lines and curves blend together. Get a little work there. Well, maybe not. But it's taken on a really, really nice shape. I like this. Shape. This is this is kind of cool. So that's basically what you get. One thing you can get. It's not the only thing, I'm sure. The only object you could turn, but this is one out of a cylinder as opposed to a cube. The cylinder having the length and the diameter the same. As you would on the faces of a cube. At least 4 faces on that cube would match up to the surface across the top and bottom, and then at 90 degrees to that would be those 4 sides of the cube, and then the 5th and 6th sides along the other axis would be 90 degrees to the surface and to those other 2 parallel planes on the other 2 sides of the square. We just did it in a cylinder. I guess I'm probably just over-explained something, but I apologize. Sometimes it's hard, I think, for people to visualize a sphere inside of a square, or a cylinder inside of a square, or a rectangle. So I try to explain that a little bit. With the sanding of this piece, I am probably going to take it to 320 before I start working on polishing the resin on the outside. I found a cool little trick, I knew of this trick, but I hadn't tried it with UV resin. And I'll show you once that piece is the finish is all cured. Instead of having to polish the inside, I applied a very, very thin coat of UV resin on the inside with a brush, and then set that resin. It made the inside more or less clear, and I didn't have to polish the inside. I didn't really have tool marks in there to worry about. It was just the resin itself needed to be sanded and polished. And to get around that, I used UV resin. I've heard of resin projects where you just make the piece and then you slowly rotate it overnight with a thin layer of resin on it, and that rotation keeps the resin from pulling up in one spot and more or less keeps an even coat all the way around as it spins, and you really don't have to finish. You'll get a glass smooth finish with that. And I don't have I have to make some kind of a jig to slow down or to transfer the speed of 400 down to 50 RPMs. I'm sorry, 400 down to 50 RPMs. Probably a set of wheels with a gear, maybe, or pulley, I don't know, something like that to slow it down. That'd be a lot bigger wheel than what I've got. I don't know, I'll figure it out. Some way to step it down. And try that sometime, but I have not done that. I have done resin coating on the outside, where I've poured it on the outside and then hung the piece and let the resin drip off, but then you've got to clean off any drips, so to speak, on the rim where it's dripped off, which is not terrible, but having to just polish that part once you get it sanded down, it's kind of seems silly, I guess. So being able to rotate the piece is pretty cool. But anyway, the UV resin worked really well. Just need a really, really thin layer on the inside to fill all the holes with that clear resin, and then shoot it with the UV light, and it's set, and it's clear all the way through the box now, more or less. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's very at least you can see the inside, the interior. You can see light coming through that isn't um, hazy. Let's put it that way, with the rough surface of the resin on the inside. So having fun with this piece of timber. I'm going to pick it up again tomorrow evening for the broadcast tomorrow night. So we are at a point, I think, so far that pretty sure I'll finish it tomorrow night. Just got like I say, the outside sanding to do. I got to hollow the box out first, but I've got my wall heights on the piece going in the right direction together, so that hollowing this out will be fairly straightforward. Of course, I'm not going to try to hollow the wings out. I blow through the sides out here trying to do that, because they stick at least an inch out, if not an inch and a quarter out from the side, whereas this side is only a quarter of an inch. So fully an inch through, I would just cut right through the side. Although that might be interesting to look at that, actually, to have voids in the side of this box. That might be a thing. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not feeling it. I like the outside shape the way it is. So having nothing in chat, I'm going to call this the broadcast for the evening. I appreciate you joining me. My name is Dave. I'm a wood turner. I love to talk about wood turning and beekeeping a lot. I started this channel to become a better. Let me slow down. I started this channel to become a better teacher and a better demonstrator, to help other turners of all skill levels become better turners, and to become the best turner that I can be. So I'm always practicing. I'm always putting time in at the lathe. It is my therapy. I started turning as therapy for PTSD and found out that not only does it work for that, I had a knack for it and fell in love with it. So now I'm working on bringing it all full circle, so that my therapy now supports me, not just emotionally and mentally, but financially as well. So hey, why not? Why not do something you love? And that's what I'm pursuing now. And I feel very lucky that I'm in a position in my life that I get to do that, or at least realize that I get to do that. I probably could have done it at any point in my life. But like most Americans, I bought the program. So it's taken me a little while to deprogram that stuff. Anyway, today is Twitch Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wood Turning Wednesday, and I'm turning from 8 to 11. Yep, that's right. It's Wood Turning with Dave Reif, Twitch Tuesday and Wood Turning Wednesday from 8 to 11. I thank you for joining me this evening on Twitch Tuesday. Hope you stay friendly. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I hope to see you tomorrow night, when we're going to finish, or at least give it our doggonedest attempt to finish this particular box. I think we'll do all right, though. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time.